Hey, how's it going, YouTube? Today I'm going to be talking about the 6 cars that have been released for the F1 2013 campaign. Those 6 cars are Lotus, McLaren, Ferrari, Force India, Sauber, and Red Bull. Now I should explain something before we get into this a bit more in detail. Not much of the rules have changed for, well, this campaign. So you're not going to see too much of a difference between the cars. They all pretty much look like their predecessors. The main difference that you're going to see between most of the cars is that the step nose is now gone. Well, not exactly gone. It's got panels covering the side. So from a side angle, most of the cars look like they got a normal flow to their shape again. Versus the step nose, which is a shape like this, drops down and then goes flat again. It makes the cars look really ugly. It's not nice. A couple of cars still do have it, but we'll get to those later. And personally, I don't like it. But other than that, most of the cars do look the same as they did last year. So don't be expecting too much. Alright, let's start things off with Lotus. And unfortunately, they are one of the cars with the step nose still. The reason that they don't have panels covering the side is that they say it adds weight, which it clearly does. And weight is like the devil to an F1 car, so they don't really want to put them on to save weight, make the car go faster. It looks, yeah, exactly like I said, it looks exactly like it did last year, except for they've added red to the paint scheme, which makes it look a bit more interesting to look at. I personally still just love the black and gold. I think it's really classy, really good looking car. Yeah. But in my opinion, they're one of the teams that have a lot more focus on one of their drivers at least. Kimi Räikkönen last year was superb, finished every race, did everything perfectly, and even won a race in Abu Dhabi. Lewis Hamilton maybe should have won that. Just saying. Nonetheless though, most of the focus is on Romain Grosjean. He was, well, we all know Romain Grosjean, you know, just flying to the back of someone at Mach speed just to cause an accident. Almost that, you would get the impression, if you've never watched F1 before, that's what he was trying to do. But nonetheless, he is a good driver. Like, you saw it sometimes, he finished second and third twice. He can race. He can do it as long as he doesn't crash while doing it. He had one problem in Valencia last year where the alternator went, and it was probably a sheer podium if that alternator didn't go, and it was kind of unfortunate. But nonetheless, if he can get his act together, Lotus will be a team to watch. I mean, they could be really high up in the standings. It would be very good, but they have to finish the races, have to get around the entire track and get the points. And that's going to be the main problem. I don't think it's going to be the car. It's going to be, can Romain Grosjean finish a race? Alright, the next team, McLaren. And their car looks exactly the same. I could figure out really anything. Really the main difference, the side pods, the air side pods, have gotten smaller. Other than that, there's not really much of a difference between this car and last year's car. But according to Jenson Button, the car has changed underneath and how it performs, which none of us can tell. 99.9% of the world will never get to drive an F1 car. We'll never tell. So we'll let the drivers do the talking for that one. And the drivers this year are Sergio Perez and Jenson Button. And hopefully Sergio can do a good job of replacing Lewis Hamilton last year, and well, we'll see how they do. The car last year was a bit unreliable at times, making it kind of iffy if they're going to win races. There was a couple of races where it was almost a sure win. Monza was one where it looked like it was going to be a 1-2 and they're going to get a lot of points, and then, well, it just broke down. I don't think they ever figured out why it broke down. Well, for Jenson Button it broke down. I mean, I don't think they ever figured out why. Yeah, that's really good. So hopefully those reliability issues are fixed and the car can actually finish races and we beat Red Bull and yeah, beat Red Bull. Now the next car is Ferrari. And I'm happy to say their car looks a lot better. Last year when the car got released it was hideous, it was ugly, and I didn't like it. And yeah, I don't think most of the world liked it, to be honest. This year though, they have gotten rid of the step nose and made the paint scheme a bit darker. It looks superb. But last year when it started anyway, it was a terrible car, and the only thing that held that team together was Fernando Alonso. Felipe Massa was, well, not even in the points for most of the races until the end of the season. At the start, awful. And that's where I think most of the focus is going to be on Felipe Massa. He needs to do well. I mean, he only has a 1-year contract right now, but it's, well, you're racing for Ferrari. You're like the creme de la creme of F1. If you're racing Ferrari, you've got to be the best. And if you're not racing your best, well, you get shunned, basically. Felipe Massa has to pick up his game and start racing. Like, it's brutal watching. But yeah, the car should be performing well. If it's based off last year's car, it ended the season quite well. It wasn't quite up to the par of the Red Bulls or McLarens, but you know, Fernando Alonso was racing his heart out, and he pushed that car to the limit. And Felipe Massa starting to come together at the end, but no, no, it was still pretty rough to watch. So my focus on Felipe Massa. Can he finish higher? Can he? I don't know. We'll find out. Now we got Force India. It's pretty much the exact same as last year with the colors at least. White, orange, and green. Really interesting to look at least. Same as the Indian flag. Force India, get it? Anyway, they've gotten rid of their step nose, and it looks a lot better. Last year's car was ugly as hell. It was probably the worst looking car on the grid in my opinion. It was disgusting. And it was pretty lousy at times. Didn't ever finish high, apart from in Brazil, until Nico Hulkenberg decided to crash into Hamilton and kind of mess up their race a bit. Nonetheless, it was a fast car in that race. This year though, they don't have Nico Hulkenberg, they only have Paul di Resta as it stands currently. They need to sign another driver. We'll find out who that is at the time. Paul di Resta can be a good driver at times, but he hasn't really shown too much progress. He hasn't really shown a real glimpse of a great driver. He's just been there. So I'm really waiting to see something from him. Haven't really seen it yet. I know the car hasn't been that great for him, but if Nico Hulkenberg can get a challenging for first in Brazil and he couldn't, it makes me wonder a bit. I mean, it's only just really one example, but there's a lot more to come. Well, I think for him at least. We'll find out, along with everything else. The next one is Sauber. And in my opinion, they have more focus than just about any other team. The reason is they've got 2 new drivers, and their car last year was quite good. This new car, it's changed color. It's dark gray, and they've gotten rid of the step nose, and they've made their side pods a bit smaller. So they've done a few changes on the outside that we can tell at least, and I'm hoping the car will be quite well. It's based off its predecessor, which was a very fast car at times, so it should be a good campaign for them. They should be able to challenge for races, race wins maybe. And yeah, the 2 new drivers are Nico Hulkenberg and Esteban Gutierrez, I believe it is. I'm a bit rough with how to say that name, but he's a rookie from Mexico. Maybe trying to replace Sergio Perez. We'll find out though. Nico Hulkenberg was fantastic in Brazil until he decided to crash into Hamilton, like we said earlier. He was just kind of a mid-pack runner most of the time, other than that. But now he's in Sauber, which was a superior car last year. We'll find out if he can actually do more. I look forward to seeing him in it, and also Esteban. I look to see him what he can do in the car. I want to see how he drives. I'm kind of curious actually. So I think we'll find out. I think they'll be quite good this year. I don't say they're going to be top 5. They might be 6th. That's where I'll put them. I'll say they'll be 6th. I hope I'm right about that. Now the last car is Red Bull. Personally, I want to see them lose. I want to see the car break down every single race. I'm just so sick of Red Bull winning all the time. Red Bull, Red Bull, Red Bull. And then at the end, I get to watch Sebastian Vettel's crooked finger as he goes up the stairs. I am brutally sick of that. So I'm looking at McLaren and Ferrari to pull through here and start winning some races. I'd prefer to see either one of those teams win, even though I call myself a McLaren fan. The car looks, well, it's identical. I couldn't really spot too much of a difference. The main difference is they've added a bit of purple to the paint. Yeah, I don't know if that'll stay. Red Bull has a tendency to make their cars kind of look like something one race and then change it the next race. So we'll find out if that stays. It looks pretty cool nonetheless. But yeah, a lot of focus on Mark Webber trying to keep up Sebastian Vettel, like there is every year. Other than that, they just got to really keep up what they're doing, to be honest. I'm hoping for alternator failures like there was last year, but yeah, if they keep up what they're doing, they're going to win races. Sebastian Vettel's a fantastic driver. Mark Webber's quite good at times, and that car is superb. Adrian Newey does a fantastic job at it, which is annoying, but this is how it goes. You build a good car, you're going to win races, and they've done just that. So yeah, world champions coming into this one, and last year and the year before that. So we'll see if they can do it again. We'll find out. Now if you haven't noticed, this is my first video on YouTube. Give me a like if you like it. Yeah. Or don't. That would just suck.